Now, there is no doubt about it that With Love, Meghan, the trailer for that show by Netflix, is by far one of the poorly received trailers in existence of Netflix in a very long time. We know that it's getting ratioed across all forms of social media. We also know that there's a lot of in-studio battles happening right now, a lot of in-studio internal drama between Meghan Markle and the Netflix executives, along with how she's getting a lot of backlash in the public eye. Now, one thing is for certain is that we know that Meghan Markle's time in Hollywood is pretty much over at this point. It's really all resting on Netflix and some other Hollywood studios that are slowly but surely, in some case rapidly, beginning to wake up and just blacklisting Meghan Markle and refusing to work with her ever again or at all, and even not giving her a chance at that. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. Now, one thing about Meghan Markle that I think that we could all agree about here is that she is by far one of the most insufferable personalities in the public eye, right? I say personality because I don't really like to call her an actress really all that much. Yes, she was on Suits, I get that. But based on what she's trying to do, and has been trying to do, sounds more like delusions of grandeur, right? She's really trying to be something, she's trying to be that actress, be that A-list star. It sounds like and looks like that's what she's trying to do. That's what she actually dreams of doing, right? And it just comes across as very inauthentic, only doing it for the fame and the fortune and not for the art. So, dropping into this, there's been a lot of things going on with her firing/cancellation situation over at a major Hollywood studio. Let's jump into this. Now, with the entire woke media and all of Hollywood still facing backlash due to their agendas that were and are being pushed in many cases, some of which are backing off. However, one major development now involves more to do with Meghan Markle and her recent firing and cancellation scenario over at a major Hollywood studio and her recent behavior after this all took place. Just days ago, it turns out, HBO decided to fire/cancel Meghan Markle. We touched on this just 2 days ago, from a new series that was going to focus on her fitness routine with the format of Curb Your Enthusiasm's mockumentary style for the new show that was going to pay her, get this, $50 million as it turns out, via a contract with HBO, $10 million more than previously reported. After her recent firing, however, from that studio, it turns out, not so shockingly, that Meghan Markle is already blaming the studio executives and its CEO that this is an act against women and that this is an act against diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, this recent squabble that took place between both Meghan and the HBO execs was indeed done remotely however, the drama was so intense that it sparked and spread throughout the entire studio over at HBO. And though HBO's contacts, of course, learned about this as well, other studios too learned about this drama. Now, Meghan also blamed sexism and misogyny toward the HBO CEO and its many executives and claimed that they were biased since she believes they don't want a powerful woman on screen for a series anymore. The reality of the situation is not only did they learn of the Netflix drama, but also she was demanding an even higher payout from $50 million for the fitness series to a whopping $70 million. For just one show, mind you, not for a series of shows, for one show. Now, which the CEO did insist this was all unrealistic, especially in this scenario. Meghan believed that these negotiations could have succeeded if the HBO execs were not sexist. That's how basically she was treating that scenario. Between Meghan Markle and her team now in a head-on-head battle with HBO after they called off the fitness series, which was going to be called Motivated by Meghan, already Meghan Markle warned HBO that she would be willing to take some form of action, even legal action as a last resort, and this was nothing more than a way to intimidate HBO. Now, reportedly, this did not work, and HBO is still holding their ground to not work with Meghan Markle at all, again, anymore, period. Now, look, this is the first thing that I think HBO did in a very long time that is a fantastic thing. I have been a very big critic of HBO in recent years, especially after they did the whole race swapping with Velma on Velma Season 1 and 2. I thought that was just absurd. That was the epitome of DEI agendas getting thrown and shoehorned into a series based on Scooby-Doo. Now again, we have Meghan Markle losing a fitness series Do you honestly believe that anybody would have tuned into this to watch Meghan Markle work out, whether it was through yoga, and we'll talk more about this, whether it was through yoga or strength training, etc., etc.? There's a lot of other material out there, especially on social media, that people can just tune into at the snap of a finger like that and get their daily fix of a workout regimen by someone online, right? You don't need Meghan Markle to do that via HBO. But look, it wasn't going to be done in a tutorial type of scenario. They wanted to make it into a series, an actual fictional series about fitness, about her working out in this world that was going to be shaped like Curb Your Enthusiasm, where everything is kind of script written and everything is just really not, talking to the people behind the screen watching the show. That's basically how it was going to be treated. Kind of like what they did, yes, with Meghan, or With Love Meghan, right? It's almost the same format. But moving onwards here, alright? Now, this all comes after Meghan Markle has been in contact with multiple major Hollywood studios since her Netflix contract deal is likely not going to be renewed. Now, get this, it's a 60-40 chance at this point on whether or not her contract gets renewed beyond 2025. The upcoming disaster of her show With Love Meghan will likely be the final nail in the coffin, there's no doubt about that one. However, with HBO's Motivated by Meghan, which was planned to be 15 episodes long, focusing on Meghan Markle running, doing yoga, strength training, and of course stretching and more, Meghan is now still reportedly fighting with every breath in her body to get HBO to undo their cancellation and firing of Markle. She even trained for the HBO shows. She was getting in shape more for that series, which could very well explain those leaked images out there of her holding a yoga mat and doing all these different things. It's quite possible it was connected to that. We'll talk more about that later. However, other studios are now already beginning to blacklist Meghan Markle after they too learned of both the Netflix drama and the HBO situation. And you know what? I think it's about time other studios begin to wake up that Meghan Markle is not the answer to making anything profitable. I mean, we all saw what happened with Polo on Netflix, which failed miserably. Nobody even knew it existed. It was that bad. And now you got With Love Meghan, alright? I think come January 15th, the very day that this show is intended to drop, is going to be one of the biggest disasters by Netflix. There's no doubt about that. And if they haven't learned anything after that, I think that Netflix is a lost cause and people should really turn to others like HBO, for example, or Amazon, or others out there, other streaming services that are going to offer better content than Netflix at this point. So overall, I think that between over 20,000 emails getting sent out by their customers complaining about With Love Meghan and the series of unsubscribers coming their way, and they have been dealing with a good amount of unsubscribers via Netflix, this really sent a lot of the Netflix analysts into a frenzy, into a panicky mode where they had to actually deliver that data to the executives about what's been going on, and that's exactly why, and we talked about this too, why they did scrap 2 other projects that Meghan Markle had set in for her overall contract over at Netflix. But overall, I would like to hear what you all have to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel, and I will catch you guys later.